Good morning, CDT day 131. And I just blow dried my beard. So, nice and dry, all showered. It is checkout time, just shy of noon. So, we are going to go back to Asia Buffet, get ourselves some lunch, and then I think I'm going to give a call to Gary, see if he can give us a ride back out to the trail. And then off we go to Helena, 71 miles to that town, and we'll see what happens there. For now, food. The light, it burns. I've been in the dark for so long. Whew. In other words, look at that. Jesus flow. Oh my goodness. Maybe he's born with it. Alright, off to the buffet. The beauty, the grace, the deliciousness. It's everywhere. It's a wonderland. And it just keeps going. It's time. Just made it out of Asian Buffet. Whew, and I'm full. It's a bit cloudy right now, but it's looking better than yesterday. It's a bit brighter. We could still be in for some rain this evening, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. Can't really take too much time off. So my man Gary, the taxi driver, is coming to get us right now. So this guy's awesome. Like, both times that I've called him, he's like, yeah, I'll be right there, and he shows up immediately. So he'll be here in a minute, pick us up, take us all the way back to Trailhead. Probably cost us like 25 bucks for 11 miles, which is a pretty good deal for a taxi service. So be pretty excited with that, just to not deal with the hassle of hitching and trying that out. There's definitely a lot of homeless people, so it makes it tough. So he'll get us back out to the trail, and we'll start making some miles today. Getting excited to see what this next section looks like. I don't know anything about it. Gary just dropped us off, and we are back on the CDT, ready to hit some miles. As you can see, the immediate future, about 2 miles, is just kind of grassland, but we are right back into the tree line pretty soon. So, I'm guessing we got a little bit of climbing in our future, and we'll see what the rest of the day presents for us. It is 1:45 p.m. on Saturday, September 7th, and we are on the move into the woods. I'm really starting to get that early fall feeling where, like, you don't really see any evidence, but you can feel it in the air. Starting to get that smell. Yeah, smell's changing a bit. It's got kind of got that crispness, that kind of dead leaf type smell. And the air's a bit cooler. I mean, it also helps that it's overcast right now, so I don't have to wear any, like, a lot of my long gear. I get to put my sleeves up, don't have my sun gloves on. It's like I'm part of nature. Yeah, it's just really nice to be back out here. I feel a lot more comfortable now that I'm out in nature. This is just always where I feel like I'm meant to be. And when we get on trail, it's going to feel even better. We got ourselves one droopy tree. It's okay, tree. It's alright to feel sad sometimes. Just doing some forest bathing here. That's what I call it. Just taking a nice long break in the woods, because now that we're back here, just kind of, at least for me, it just kind of feels like home. And so we got Jesus playing some good tunes that are just relaxing, just chill out. This is something that thru hikers do sometimes. Just break somewhere really nice, just mellow out, find some good vibes, and just roll with them. So that's what we were doing. We're surfing the vibe wave. In addition to doing some of this forest bathing or whatever you want to call it, a nice break in the woods, I'm also looking at some logistics for the rest of the hike, just to map out what we have left. And it looks like for me, I'm trying to get a finish date around the 26th or 27th of September, because it looks like Two Slice will be able to pick me up from the Canadian border and might be able to give me a ride somewhere, a possible short tour of Canada. So we'll see how that goes. But so I'm looking at somewhere around 26th, 27th, and that requires a 21 mile per day average on trail starting now, and or tomorrow morning basically. And that should be pretty easy to do. There are only 4 towns left on trail. We have Helena, the state's capital, in about 3 days, 64 miles from this very spot. Then we go to Lincoln, and then there's a big, I think it's the biggest carry on trail, about 170 to 180 miles, somewhere in there, between Lincoln and East Glacier. And then East Glacier is the third, and then Many Glacier, and then the border. So 4 towns remain, which means we have very little chance for taking zeros and stuff like that. So it won't be difficult to factor those in. We can put in some extra miles in each day in order to make up for any neros or zeros in those towns. So it's a very manageable schedule, and should be pretty easy to do. I believe what I'm going to try to do is just try to keep Jesus's pace for the time that he wants to get done, and then we'll probably just have to split up right before the border or at the border, and I'll just hang out, somewhere. But that we'll figure that out later. For now, it looks like just with the way the mileage is and also water sources, we actually don't need to go anywhere today. So there's a campground in about 2, possibly 3 miles that has water spigots, pit toilets, and possibly fire rings, so we can have a fire and things like that. So I think that's where we're going to go. Just relax today. And then that leaves about 61, 62 miles to Helena. So a couple 25s or a couple 30s, and then we have an early morning, quick go. We're into Helena, have the whole day there to charge up and get a resupply and all that, and then pop back out and just, sleep in the woods or something. So that should work out perfectly well, and that'll keep us right on the average pace needed to get to the border. So some other logistics, just looking at alternates. There's one more alternate between here and the border, and I'm told that it's much nicer, actually, so we'll be able to do that. Spotted Bear Pass, but that'll be coming up after Lincoln, so that's a while away. And then another one is choosing which border to go to, or which part of the border. There's the official trail that goes up through Waterton International Peace Park, or you can go to Chief Mountain, which is right on a highway, and you can touch the border and leave and never have to go into Canada, so you don't have to deal with customs and stuff. So that's something we'll be figuring out coming up to the end. But it looks like with the alternate that I'm planning on doing, we have about 406 miles left of the trail. So tomorrow we'll be under 400 miles, which is pretty exciting. So we're looking at about 19 to 20 days at a maximum. And so we're less than 3 weeks now. So it's really getting close, and it's starting to sink in. A day like today, just enjoying the hell out of it. So with that, we decided to go to the campground, and once we feel ready to go, we're going to pop up and go do that, and then that'll be the end of our hike for the day. Really cruisy and comfortable so far. This area sure has a lot of deadwood. It's pretty primed for a wildfire, unfortunately. This is the type of stuff that creates the big ones. You have a lot of standing dead, and then deadwood, and falls down, and then it builds up. And once you get that spark, hopefully not human caused, or it could be, lightning strike, excess heat, whatever mixture of conditions you need, light something. And this is what makes these smaller fires, turns them into something crazy. just this insane amount of fuel on the ground. That's why Forest Service and other entities that have forests under their authority will do prescribed burns. They will do a controlled burn of an area that has a lot of fuel building up, so that it reduces the risk of a catastrophic wildfire. So I would say that this area could use one, but I'm guessing it's the pine beetle that's probably ravaged this area, much like a lot of the forests that we've been seeing along this trail, especially getting into the northern areas. There's just the majority of these trees are standing dead, and there's a pine beetle. Someone can probably say in the comments the exact species, but I know it's a type of pine beetle that I believe is invasive, and it's just ravaging this forest right now, just killing off so many trees, and it's a big precursor to wildfires and also slope instability. The root systems of plants are the biggest reason why the soil stays in place. Without grasses, trees, big rooted vegetables, other plants, things like that, without those holding the dirt to the ground, it can get very loose, and it is subject to a ton of wind and rain erosion, and that's what causes a lot of landslides and breaks in the ground and things like that are never any good, and accelerated erosion. So the plants are one of the most important parts of the ecosystem, especially trees. They're so strong. They just provide so much to us. So if you look back at a lot of the landslides that have occurred, especially in like California and other hilly places, you find that they usually happen after a wildfire, after all those root systems have died off and they can't hold the ground in place anymore. Not always the case, but it happens a lot. A lot of the standing dead can contribute to potential wildfires and potential slips and slope loss, landslides, which is unfortunate, but something the ecosystem has to deal with right now. All right, the Lowland Campground National Forest too, nestled right in the woods over yonder. Well, we made it to our preferred campsite. It's some flat spots under the trees over there, and then over here we have a picnic table, fire pit, and a grate, and someone even left some wood here, so seems perfect to me. Also, in the morning, the road is right there, so we're perfectly placed to take the road out back up into the hills. So the only thing that's out of place is we're just on the other side of the campground from the privy, but I think we can make do. Come on, is that spot not perfect for that tent? Completely flat, and then encased in these 3 trees, which not so great for rain coverage, but it'll help with a little bit of frost coverage. And if there's any wind that picks up, we don't really have any wind at all. So, but she is just prime real estate. Then we got Jesus over here, double prime real estate, also throwing it up right under some nice trees, and that baby's about to be taught. He's having a good time. That's what he's having. All right, finish it up. Time to open this puppy up and throw everything inside. Got some wood collected for our fire. Of course, yeah, this whole area, there's no shortage of down wood. The only problem is all the down wood in the campground has been used up for obvious reasons, so just have to do a little bit of walking out there to grab it. But we got some good wood. Should last us a while. 6:30 p.m. right now. We only got in about half hour ago, so probably 6. So this should last us for a while, and if it gets us the 3 to 4 hours that we're going to be having a fire, then perfect. If not, do a little more searching out there. It's now time to enjoy my smorgasbord of snacks and delicious foods. Again, thanks to the Baxters. But I totally forgot that this puppy was in here, so this just made my night. Perfect. Pringles and Miller Lite. What is better? Name a better duo. I dare you. Now that's a fire. It may look like a jumbled mess, but there is a method to the madness. Well, mostly just because I don't want to cut anything. But these big logs here, have them sitting across so that the flames can basically cut them for me. So it'll burn through the centers of those, and then I'll have 6 pieces, 6 logs instead of 3, and they can all dump in, and we got ourselves a rager. But it's all pretty good and self-contained in here. Just pushing sticks in as they burn down. Anything sticking out is just because it was too long to go in to begin with, so letting them burn down and then pop them in. And the result is a nice warm fire. We're going to finish off the day with some stats while you guys check out this beautiful fire. I'm not sure if you can see because it's a little dark, but the idea that I had with the crossing logs is going to plan. So they're just burning and then we're feeding them in as they go. They all split in half, so worked out. But anyways, I digress. Today we did 9 miles of hiking and about 1,400 feet of climbing. So pretty relaxed day, and worked out pretty well. So that puts me right around, I believe 1,916 miles walked on the CDT. And that brings us down to about 405, I think. 404, 405 miles to the end. So yeah, those are the stats for today. And we're just going to enjoy this fire until she goes out and probably watch some comedy on my phone. And just had some snacks for dinner, feeling fine after the Asian buffet today, and be going to bed, and then getting up tomorrow morning and putting in a nice big day. So that is the end of the day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the morning.